don't. I
That's
just,
fine.
okay.
And so that's why it's like,
Good morning. It's 9:30, so we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome to the July 20th, 2017 meeting of the Downtown Design Review Committee. First order of business, I'd like to remind everyone to please turn off their cell phones. And then let's go ahead with roll call.
Corey Bates.
Present.
Nathaniel Harding.
Present.
Charles Ainsworth.
Present.
Gigi Faulkner. Connie Scothorn. Betsy Brunstetter. And Danielle Theriot. You have a quorum.
Before we get into the agenda items, I'd like to ask if any of the committee members have any time constraints today to be aware of? Any potential abstentions to be aware of? Okay. So then, moving into the agenda, I assume everyone's had a chance to review the minutes from last meeting. It might have taken longer to read them than the meeting itself. Do we have a motion?
Move to approve. Second.
That was a Ainsworth Harding motion. All those in favor? Aye. All opposed? The minutes are approved from last month's meeting. We have no cases withdrawn. There are no continuance requests. Item 5, we have 2 items on the consent docket. Is there anyone from the committee or the gallery that would like to speak to items on the consent docket?
Since Beatriz is here with a great mock-up, I will actually ask that, that we, I don't know if we have to officially pull it, but I'd love for you guys to really see it. This is on case item 54.
Okay. We'll go ahead and pull that from the consent docket. This is the first one.
5A, yes.
Yeah, so item 5A, 208 Patience Lading Circle. I guess we pull that down to be the first item for consideration.
Yeah. Yes.
And beforehand, we'll take care of the consent docket?
Yes.
Okay. So with the remaining item B on the consent docket, do we have a motion for the docket?
Second.
So that was a Scothorn Harding motion. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So the consent docket is approved. Moving on to cases for individual consideration, we'll start off with 208 Patience Lading Circle.
oh, excuse me, that did not go the way I thought it was going to go.
I am taking lost. My name is Beatriz Mallorca. I am the artist and designer of the nurture seating, sculptural seating that are going to be here on the back from somewhere on the High Tower Park.
Paul, I'm sorry. It said I needed to load it, so I loaded it, and now it's not doing what? I apologize. So I'll just go through this really quickly. It's a uniquely shaped park that is east of City Hall, and there are sidewalks surrounding it. And so we have some different views looking at the area. Some of them will be on this sidewalk we're looking at, some of them will be in the grass to the right. And this is looking back at the building, at the area where all of this will be. And I will flip to this. And so what you're looking at here in front of you is the upper right, the mock-up. And I went out when I was taking pictures. She and her son were out there with the mock-ups, and it was very windy, and it was extremely interesting because they obviously will be made out of something different, but they looked really, really nice out there. So the tiles that I gave you are what you're seeing up here on the upper right. And then this is actually showing the placement of those.
Okay, as you know, they are going to be made of concrete and metal, and the metal is going to be covered with Linex, and a new one very soft that they use it for car. Bed liner that is more stronger and durable. The other thing, I received this morning the mail that the foundation for the 3 chairs are going to be on the grass was approved by the engineers, city engineers, and the only that need to navigate is the sprinkler system, how the sprinklers are going to be on the park to decide where exactly to don't hit the water. I'm going to do that one right after that meeting there. If you have any question, I think it's very clear of the.
I think it's very nice, and looking forward to having them out there.
I think they look great. I was wondering about the grass that grows up underneath it. Is the city's okay with trimming the grass right up against the chair?
Downtown KC is going to take charge of the maintain of the park.
That was part of the conditions from the Parks Department.
And they're going to
agreement with
hand cut
downtown.
all the grass around the chairs to preserve them.
Wow, okay. Good, fantastic. I think they're going to be fun.
Yeah, it's just very fun and inviting for that space. Like it.
Thank you.
Do we have any other comments from anyone? So we pulled this from the consent docket, so we'll need a motion as a case for individual consideration.
Move to approve?
That was a Faulkner-Ainsworth motion. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The item is approved.
Thank you.
So much.
So moving on to the other cases for individual consideration, item 6A, 229 Northwest 9th Street. Is the applicant present?
No, the applicant is not present. Staff has, at the May meeting, committee voiced various concerns about various aspects of the project, the stone, the ephes, the sidewalk width and the railing. We recapped all of those to the applicant and gave him a deadline for responding, and we have not heard from him since May 18th. So what's in the packet now is identical to what was in it on the 18th. Staff is requesting that the committee takes action so that we can follow up with code enforcement side of things from here on out, because we can't do that while there's an open CA case. That's pretty much all we know. Yeah, I wrote the staff report. I left my original recommendation to approve the renovation items on the main building. I know various committee members disagreed with that, and that's fine if somebody wants to propose an alternative. I left it the same because it was the same documentation as last time, so I left my recommendation the same. Sidewalks, it's the same documentation, but because I would like an action on it, I'm suggesting it be denied.
Right, and so if any part of this gets denied, that's what we can actually turn over to code enforcement for them to take action on.
Because right now it's all on
Hold.
code enforcement action is on hold because there's a pending CA case.
Does anyone have any comments or discussion?
Yeah, you're recommending that we approve the base, the building, does that include the stone?
Case item 1 included the stone, and I know most of the committee members were not in favor of the stone, but if you wanted to exclude it, you'd have to capture that in your motion. It's all the case items are enumerated on page 1, or you could deny all of number 1. If that's easier.
Please.
Well, I remember pretty clearly from our last discussion of this case that we had concerns about the walkability of the sidewalk. We had questions about, I think there were definitely thoughts among the committee members that could be improved and that it was possible for it to be improved so that it didn't cut the building off from the sidewalk. There were also concerns about the ethos around those window openings and the thought that did not contribute to the historical character of the building. And also the stone surround on the attached building is not in keeping with the 1960s character of that building whatsoever. And so I just thought I would recap that, and those are my opinions as well, so I'm not in favor of approval, just for the record.
And I'd like to add one thing that I didn't see addressed, and that's that textured concrete sidewalk, which is really slippery when it's wet, and I don't think that's appropriate either.
I share the same concerns regarding the sidewalk and the materials on the building, so I would not be inclined myself to break this up into pieces, but rather view the project holistically.
So help us, so if we deny this, they can always come back with a new design and a new whatever and keep
Correct.
in mind the comments and whatever we made, and hopefully they can.
Yeah, it would be a whole new application, and if, for example, they came back with this exact one in 2 months, we would say we're not taking it forward unless there are some substantial changes.
Well, I mean, I agree. I think that there's an opportunity here to make a really nice project, and given the quality of the other projects going on in the area, I'd move to deny it.
Second.
That was Ainsworth Faulkner motion. All those in favor of denying the case? Aye. All those opposed? The case is denied. Okay. So moving on to item 6B, 321 Northwest 8th Street. Is the applicant present?
Yes. Hi. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Jose Rodriguez. I'm the architectural designer representing Matt Seebacker. He's the owner for the Tamashi Ramen House. And hopefully we have some changes that will, hopefully you'll like. And
Laura, do you have anything?
Yeah, I'll recap it. Yes, so we also heard this on May 18th. Committee suggested that as I recap in the staff report, the design intent should be to reduce the impact and presence of the new awning. There wasn't, to me, clear consensus on whether it was too big, per se, but that it was reading as too heavy. To address that, the applicant has totally rethought the framing and the materials, and has reduced the heavy feel of it in part by adding polycarbonate panels in portions of the roof, and lattice woodwork also.
It's really more like a trellis feel now. It's all wood, rafters basically. You can see on the 3D there. We also reduced the height of the entire awning there from 10 feet to 8 feet basically. We still kept it 5-foot setback as previously noted. And, to keep, because obviously what the main function is that try and keep patrons out there even when it's slightly raining. So we went ahead and put a polycarbonate layer on top of the whole structure there, kind of give it that open feeling still with the wood. But that's pretty much what we did. The columns are 4x4 tube columns, and that's kind of what the structural engineer suggested for that size of canopy to be able to support it appropriately.
I like the height that you brought the height down. I think it's much less bulky and not as much mass coming toward the street. And I like the addition of the wood very much, the natural material.
Thank
you. Just to clarify, so it's a clear plastic that provides the barrier at the railing?
Yeah, the polycarbonate, yes.
Is there a concern that it might get very brittle and get a kind of a yellowish color over with the Oklahoma sun over time?
And that's something that what the vendor is telling us, that they maintain their integrity or whatever their component is. But the good thing about it is that they come in sheets that will be basically sealed with clear silicone, and those can be interchanged as they weather, basically. And so that's one of the things that the owner wanted to be able to do, so they can wash them constantly. They don't accumulate. Obviously, they'll have a slight slope for drainage, but also with the intent to keep maintenance on them and be able to wash them, and as they weather, be able to exchange them as time goes by.
I think from a framing standpoint, the changes you've made have made a great difference, and appreciate the effort getting it here. I think it looks good.
Thanks.
Are there any other comments from the gallery or from the committee? Do we have a motion? We have a Ainsworth Harding motion. All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed? The item is approved.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks for going back. Thank you. No, appreciate your comments.
Okay, we have some other business. Danielle Theriault, she could not be here today, but she is moving to Pittsburgh and therefore finishing her tenure on DDRC. So we have a resolution for her service that we're signing. And sure.
I'll read the resolution, and I'm sending copies around to sign. There's 2 copies, and a reminder that you'll need to adopt the resolution. A resolution of the Downtown Design Review Committee of the City of Oklahoma City acknowledging Danielle Terrio for her valuable service and dedication to the Downtown Design Review Committee. Whereas Danielle Terrio has faithfully devoted her time and expertise to serve the citizens of Oklahoma City as a Downtown Design Review Committee member from February 2016 to July 2017. And whereas Danielle Terrio has routinely contributed to the committee through her proficient skill and expertise as an architect, including adept analysis of architectural design, urban design, historic preservation, and aesthetics. And whereas Danielle Terrio has demonstrated uncommon dedication to the committee through her methodical attention to detail and earnest regard for the applicable standards and guidelines in the consideration of projects presented to the committee. And whereas Danielle Terrio has consistently treated applicants, citizens, fellow committee members, and staff with respect and courtesy. And whereas Danielle Terrio's sincerity, collaborative spirit, and compassionate nature have served the community well in resolving conflicts and offering sound, technical, and creative advice to applicants. And whereas the fulfillment of Danielle Terrio's responsibility on the committee was achieved with an earnest devotion to the well-being of the community and the overall betterment of downtown. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Downtown Design Review Committee hereby respectfully commends Danielle Terrio for her outstanding years of service on the Downtown Design Review Committee of the City of Oklahoma City. Adopted by the Downtown Design Review Committee of the City of Oklahoma City on this 20th day of July, 2017.
I move to adopt the resolution.
There was a Faulkner-Harding motion. All those in favor? Aye. The resolution is adopted. Moving on to the administrative approval report. Is there anything worth noting?
There is one on there for a banner that they've already had their event, unfortunately, for, let's see, what was it? I'm sorry, up on Broadway for Allied Arts. They won a huge, huge competition and won a nice chunk of money. So you'll see a banner up there for them. But I think it was a week or so ago they actually had their kind of big event. So I was just going to point that one out because that's kind of exciting.
Yeah, definitely.
That was like the Brackets for Good. Is that what that was? Yeah. Like they won like the bracket competition for March Madness?
They were able to raise the most money, which is kind of exciting because they were competing. It wasn't just Oklahoma City. It wasn't even Oklahoma. Yeah. It was multi-state. They were competing against a lot of other organizations.
Okay, any other comments from the staff? All right, that's good. Exciting. Yeah. Any comments from committee members? You did a really good job. Thanks. Getting the swing of it. Our next meeting is Thursday, August 17th, 2017. Any applications for that meeting are due to staff by 4 p.m. on July 18th, 2017. The meeting is adjourned.